The Place Beyond the Pines is one of the greatest American films of all time, but ever since being released in 2012, it's kind of been forgotten. Here's why: this gritty and poetic gangster film starring Ryan Gosling and Bradley Cooper with a fantastic soundtrack by Ennio Morricone and Bon Iver and so much more is one of the most unforgettable and underrated films you should see. So The Place Beyond the Pines is a gangster film with coming-of-age and family drama elements that tells the story of a motorcycle stunt driver who starts to rob banks in order to lead a happy life with his child and lover and grabs the attention of a local police officer. They both get on a collision course that will forever change their lives and families for generations. Yes, I honestly think this is a masterpiece that should be named among the best films of the last decades. The Place Beyond the Pines has all the parts, all the things you expect from a great gangster film. It has chase scenes, bank robberies, a broken protagonist that tries to live a good life in the wrong ways and ends up causing total destruction. But this film has a poetic, philosophical and even spiritual twist that makes this into a film that is unlike any other gangster film I know. This film may tell a familiar story, but the way it tells it is very unique and interesting. You can feel it in the way every single scene is directed. The cinematography feels so down to earth and realistic, filming the actors almost like you're watching a documentary. Still, the movie feels cinematic and stylish at the same time, where each composition and each cut feels deliberate with thought and emotion. And when it comes to the acting, Ryan Gosling has never performed the roughness and vulnerability of the lonely drifter as powerfully as in this film. Then we have Bradley Cooper as his counterpart, who is cleaner on the outside but all the more broken and corrupt on the inside. When it comes to their sons, especially Dane DeHaan, his performance in the film is so subtle and so nuanced, and especially the way these two actors relate to their fathers in the film. I mean, this is how great acting can feel like nobody's actually acting. And then we have the soundtrack. I mean, Mike Patton made the original score for this film. Some beautiful themes in there, the stuff you hear in the trailer, which is, I mean, in my opinion, iconic and really has the ghost-like atmosphere of the whole film in just one piece of music. And then we have additional pieces of music by the maestro Ennio Morricone, for example. Beautiful track he has with beautiful strings in the film. And even the song in the last scene of the film is by Bon Iver. I mean, that makes up for one of the most unforgettable, beautiful and atmospheric endings to a film that I've ever seen. And that's it for the stylistic and technical aspects of the film. What about the actual substance, the actual story the film is telling? The Place Beyond the Pines really creatively turns the concept of generational sin into a cinematic form. What do I mean by that? Generational sin is kind of the heritage we are born into. The faults and weaknesses of our fathers that we inherit as men and have to deal with in our lives. Legacy is the broader overarching theme in The Place Beyond the Pines, and I mean the word oftentimes sounds like something big, elegant, epic, but this film shows us that legacy is also the small actions we are doing right now, the small habits and character traits we have right now that ripple into eternity. This is exactly what makes this film different. While most other gangster films kind of explore moral ambiguity and evil through cinematic ways, The Place Beyond the Pines explores how each and every decision we make, whether good or bad, echoes in eternity. I remember seeing this film for the first time. I was really young, like maybe 12, 13, too young for this film, and I didn't understand a lot of the subtext of The Place Beyond the Pines. What I did notice though, and what really impressed me back then as much as it does right now, I mean, back then I knew kind of the excitement and spectacle of action-packed blockbuster films, sci-fi films, fantasy films. This film opened up a whole different side of cinema for me because it was regular people doing mostly regular things. Of course, there is the occasional bank robbery and chase scene, but most of the film is just dialogue scenes and people talking, interacting in toned down normal ways. But still, it felt so intense and so emotional and so exciting and just spectacular at the same time. Through the power of filmmaking, small personal issues and small things in our everyday lives all carry meaning and purpose, and this is what filmmaking can highlight, and this is what's so hard for us to see now going through our everyday lives. And with this film I still get exactly that. I get the spectacle and excitement of an American gangster film, but still get the nuance and the personality of a small independent drama. Another thing I want to highlight here is the use of violence. There are some really graphic, violent moments in the film, but they're used sparingly and with a lot of intention. But the tension of violence and the presence of violence is something that goes through the entire film. I mean, guns in films have something we're so used to seeing in movies, and it's really rare that we see a film like this where the presence of a gun, the threat, the weight, and the violence behind something like a gun is really there and really present in the scenes, as opposed to the more stylistic cinematic purposes that guns serve in most other films. Just notice that. I think that's very impressive and lifelike. There's so much The Place Beyond the Pines has to offer. It's about crime, corruption, family, legacy, fathers, sons, and ghosts in the most realistic and spiritual sense. Instead of becoming an artificial spectacle, the movie reflects the true nature of heritage and tradition. We are all a result of what came before us, in good ways and in bad ways. If and how we can escape all of that and better ourselves is what The Place Beyond the Pines truly explores. If you like gangster films and are interested in seeing something different and really having an experience watching a film, then please watch this underrated and forgotten contemporary modern masterpiece. Alright guys, this is it for today. I thank you so much for your time and attention watching my review right here. I wish you all a blessed day and hope to have you back in my next video.